You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Days of Our Lives fans, it is Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I've got 5 sizzling prediction in our weekly prediction edition. As always, all of our speculation is backed up by confirmed NBC soap opera spoilers. I will share with you the spoilers these are all based on, and so you can see where my thought process is. Hey, if you haven't already, please reach down, click subscribe so you don't miss any of our updates. Now let's jump right in because we've got predictions for Sarah and Xander, for Chanel and Johnny, for Sloan Petersen, for the geocaching treasure hunt, and for the weekend, the Friday night going into Saturday crime spree in Salem. All right, so our very first prediction, I think Sarah Horton is going to sleep with Xander Cook and then immediately suspect him of very bad deeds and sling some accusations. So, spoilers, this is based on Friday. Sarah saw that text message on his phone that said, "Is it done?" And then on Tuesday, February 13th episode, Xander finds Sarah waiting for him when he's back from his run. He's all sweaty. He gets in the shower. She follows him into the shower, and it looks like it's going to get very steamy. You can check out our coverage of the day's promo to find out more about this. And so I think he was putting her off because he just wants everything to be right. And he's very worried that, if they move too fast, it won't work out, because he does want to be with her. He sees them as endgame. And then by Thursday the 15th, Xander thinks that they might be done and over. So the problem is he was out for that run that happened on Friday's episode. At the exact same time, 3 crimes were committed, 2 shootings and an arson incident. And, I think Sarah thinks it's dodgy that he rejected sex with her, and then he comes back, they make love in the shower, and then I think she's going to hear about the crimes, and then she's going to think back on that text and know about his history of bad deeds, which that's legit, but I think she's going to think he's doing new bad deeds, even though he assured her that he wasn't, and he assured Stefan the other day that he was on the straight and narrow. So we'll see how it goes. Our second prediction, I think Chanel and Johnny are going to get married at the hospital, maybe even in Paulina's hospital room. So the spoilers for this, on Monday, February 12th, Paulina is worried that she is messing up Johnny and Chanel's big day because they have moved up her thyroid cancer surgery. The tumor in her throat is bigger. She thought it was getting smaller. It's actually getting bigger. They've got to do that surgery. And then on Wednesday, the 14th, Johnny and Chanel surprise Paulina. They were planning to get married on Valentine's Day, and I think they're still going to do this. I just think they're going to have to change their venue and agree to eat hospital food for their reception dinner, and probably have some really dry hospital cake. Unless maybe Chanel makes little cupcakes to bring over to the hospital or something. But they are not going to delay it. It looks like she's going to traipse over there in her wedding gown. He's in the suit. I've seen a couple of pictures. Exciting stuff. And you can see shots of that in the new promo. All right, my third prediction, I think Sloan Petersen's cracks are about to start showing. They honestly are already showing. She is drinking more. She is irritated with the crying baby and how she's not getting enough sex from Eric. And then Leo Stark is a constant pain in her butt. Melinda Trask is telling her she has to keep it zipped. And I just think it's all falling apart around her. Eric Brady was asking her the other day why she was drinking so much. And this is hot on the heels of her getting all boozed up and making a real rear end of herself in front of his mother. He was very nice about it, but clearly she embarrassed him, and he doesn't want this to keep happening. So yeah, Leo shows up next week. There's a spoiler for Friday the 16th. It says Leo interferes with Eric, Jude, and Sloan's family time. Every time he gets the chance, he is just tightening the screws on her. It's not necessarily that he wants her money or that he wants to be blackmailing her. He wants her to give that baby back to Nicole, and she is almost at that breaking point. With Nicole back in town this Friday, I feel like by the end of sweep, Nicole will have baby Jude food back, but I think that Sloan is going to come up with a really solid plan to keep herself and Melinda Trask and Dr. Pierce, the guy who helped them tell their lies, all out of jail. She's a smart woman. Our fourth prediction, I believe at the geocaching treasure hunt, things are going to turn toxic, and the geocachers that are out with their GPS devices hunting are either going to turn up some drugs or maybe a dead body, maybe somebody who overdosed or maybe a dealer. So on Friday, February 16th, the spoilers say there's a Valentine's Day geocaching event. The whole town is set to participate. Wendy and Tripp will be part of it. We also know there are so many bad drugs on the streets in Salem right now. Tripp was just talking about this. He was saying that they keep bringing them into the emergency room, that there's just overdoses everywhere. And Ava Vitali is saying, oh, that's terrible. And of course, she's part of the problem. But again, she's trying to protect him. But she is cooperating with Harris. She's cooperating with law enforcement, and nobody knows that. So she definitely is trying to shut all this down while protecting her son. So the way you play geocaching, just by the way, is there's an app. It's a geocaching app. You should get it. You can play for free. You open it up and you allow it to have access to the location of your phone. And then it tells you geocaches that are close to you. There are geocaches probably wherever you are sitting right now, unless you are in like the remote wilds in Alaska. There is probably a geocache within a couple of miles of you. They are hidden under park benches, off the sides of freeways, in local, state, and national parks, in parking lots of Walmart. I mean, they are everywhere you would not believe. So it's called geocaching. You should check it out. So anyway, generally you go in places, and they do have things called event caches, which is what this is, where they put up geocaches just for the day, just for a few hours, just for this event. And it is a race to see who finds them first. But most all the other geocaches are just out there permanently. Like some of them have been around for 10 or 20 years. That's how long this has been a thing. It's really fun. You should totally try it. I'm very interested to see this episode and see if they do it accurately. So anyway, while everybody's out beating the bushes, looking around for little things that are hidden under park benches and in shrubbery and behind trees, I feel like either drugs or an overdose victim or maybe a dead drug are going to be found. All right, my fifth and final prediction. We saw 3 crimes being committed on Friday. I feel like it is 3 different perpetrators, but one person giving all the orders, and I believe that person is Clyde Weston. So I looked at Friday's episode, and then I also looked carefully at this week's promo. And the reason that I feel like it's 3 different perpetrators is there was the guy setting the fire over at the Horton house. And at a glance, they all look a lot the same. But if you look frame by frame, because I'm a research nerd, it's very different. The guy setting the fire at the Horton house had on a black zip-up hoodie and a black shirt. The shooter over at the Brady pub, who looks like he's coming to kill Lucas, is in a black leather/pleather jacket. And the guy that shot Harris was in a track suit, but they were kind of a dark gray, and they had these little kind of white, thick, for lack of a better word, piping. It was like a pattern, maybe a reflective thing, about 3/4 of an inch wide, running up each side of the pants, and white sneakers on. And none of those outfits, by the way, looked like Xander's. I also took a picture of Xander's sweatpants. He was just in standard black sweats that didn't have any stripes on the side. So none of this is him, but they all definitely look like him. I swear, I think they picked out extras and put masks on them to implicate Xander in the viewer's eyes. So yeah. So those crimes happened on Friday, and we're going to see them replayed and more of them on Monday. And another spoiler for these incidents: on Tuesday the 13th, Ava and Stefan realize how serious that Clyde is. And that's because they hear about all the spate of that went down. Hey, thanks for listening to my prediction edition. Please click subscribe if you haven't. Definitely drop your comments on where you think all these storylines are going, and come back soon. We are here talking days, 7 days a week. And as always, I'm Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.